When you shoot a music video, you'll end up shooting at multiple locations, shooting multiple scenes, multiple takes, and you can be shooting for hours on end. It doesn't matter what camera you shoot on. Camera batteries tend not to last that very long.
Confound it! The batteries are dead!
That's when something like a V-mount battery comes into play. This is the 68 milliamp V-mount battery from Neewer. For full transparency, Neewer did send me the V-mount battery roughly about a month or so ago, and I've been using it ever since. I have this off-brand battery I bought about a year or so ago that I was using, and this here is a great replacement. There, of course, will be a link in the description down below. In this video, I'm gonna go over some pros, some cons, and also how I set it up for my camera rig. This battery is 68 milliamp hours, which means you can get roughly about 10 hours of runtime, depending on what you have connected to it. The battery has 99 watt hours, so it pretty much have enough wattage to power pretty much anything connected to it, ranging from cell phones, laptops, cameras, and then some. If you think about using this to rig up your camera, and you worry about weight capacity, the battery weighs roughly about 1.3 pounds or 590 grams. And there's a display screen to give you real-time feedback on what's connected to it. Just by pressing the power button, you get this real-time display. Now, I currently don't have anything connected to it, so it's not reading out anything right now. At the top, if you remove this flap, you have 8 volt and 12 volt DC output. On the side, you have USB-A and USB-C. On the other side, you have your DTAP port. This allows you to hook up to your camera or anything like my key light here that I got from Neewer, which I have a video up here for. Now, out of the box, it does come with this little DTAP cable. I have not yet used it. I actually need to get the DTAP adapter for my key light, but just know that it does come with at least one cable. Something that I found that was pretty interesting about this battery, it is airline friendly. And if you actually say, what does that mean? Then you're in the same boat as me. And since it's a 99 watt battery, it's under the limit for carry-ons when it comes to flying on planes. Apparently have a 100 watt limit. So that in itself is an added benefit. If you know you're gonna be traveling, you know you can take your battery with you with no problem. If you are gonna be traveling, you wanna make sure your battery is fully charged. Out of the box, it was actually at 0 and took roughly 3.5 hours to charge and complete 100%. This battery has a plastic construction, but it's also made out of fireproof PC material. So far with the use of this battery with my camera, I just use a USB Type-C. The power delivery from the USB Type-C is 65 watts, which means you can charge smartphones and laptops as well. The 8 volt and the 12 volt DC output puts out around about 3 amps or so. And the DTAP puts out around about 14 amps. With the proper connections, you can hook up multiple devices at one time, which is a very useful and added utility to having something like this. So say for instance, you're shooting on gimbal, which means you can't actually mount this to your camera. You can use something like this multi-battery charger, have it sitting off to the side while you're shooting. When your battery dies, just quickly swap out your battery and you know that it's fully charged. Pretty much the same can go for any other devices as well. To mount this to my camera, I have this V-mount plate that I got from Neewer as well. For anyone who may not be aware, V-mount batteries get their name from the V-shaped locking mechanism that's on the back of the battery. So I had the V-mount plate hooked up to my camera and then I just slide this into place. So to set up the V-mount battery with my camera rig, I first put on my cage from Neewer. I then take my V-mount plate, I twist here to unlock it and open it up. The Neewer cage has this little quick release plate here, so I just take the V-mount plate and just slide it into place. Once I have it where I want, I just twist this handle here to lock it in place. Unlocking this hinge, I can adjust the V-mount plate, then I take the V-mount battery and lock into the V-mount. Right from the side of my FX30, I open up this flap here and plug in the USB Type-C. The Type-C cables that I use are kind of like a braided cord. I just simply wrap them around. So I just wrap them around this little hinge here, then I open this little flap and then just plug into the USB Type-C. You can see right there that it's charging. Not sure how well you can see because the screen might be flickering, but it down says USB Type-C, 9.1 volts. And then up here it says battery, 16.0. V-mount battery is currently at 84%. So this is more or less my simple rig, but I can also hook up my monitor and power it to USB-C as well. Cable management can use a little bit more work, but now I have a monitor hooked up. And even without a battery in my monitor, I can run it all day. So now I've gone through and adjusted my shutter speed, so it shouldn't be any more flickering. So you now should see my battery's at 82%. It says USB Type-C, 5.1, well, USB-C, and then USB-A is 5.1. And batteries outputting 15.9 volts. To circle back to the various devices you connect to this, there are various charge times between each device. Say for instance, you was to charge a iPhone, you can get roughly about 4 to 5 different full charges from this one battery. If you was to charge maybe something like a MacBook, you can get 1.5, maybe 2 full charges out of it. For something like my Sony FX30, you can get anywhere from 3 to I think maybe 5 full charges. And so although this is sold as a camera accessory, it can come in quite handy and say for instance like a power outage, you need to charge your phone or other devices like that as well. To wrap things up, some quick cons and pros. First off, it's compact and travel friendly. Like I said, it actually meets the requirement so that you can take it on carry-on for a plane trip. Sony, for some odd reason, made it where if you use any third-party batteries, it no longer gives you the battery percentage of that battery So usually I keep my Sony battery in my camera and then I just plug this up to it and keep the charge all day. It has a number of utilities for more than just charging your camera. As I said, you can charge other devices as well. The on-screen display makes it easier to monitor what you're charging and also make sure that your devices are not getting overcharged. This battery also has a smart management system. This system helps protect against overcharging, short circuits, overcurrents, and overvoltage, meaning you can connect your devices without worrying about damage. There's only pretty much 2 cons I can think of. One, it doesn't come with a charger out the box. So basically, if you don't have a USB Type-C or Type-A cable to plug it up to, you're gonna probably need to purchase one so you can charge the device up. And 2, it's a lithium battery. So just like any other lithium battery, over time it will lose its charge. That's just the way things work. As long as I ran this for roughly about 6 hours, and even after then, it was only like, I think it's like 45% or something like that. So it still had quite a bit of battery life. And of course, my Sony battery within the camera was still fully charged. Now that 6 hours was off and on. It just basically overall, that time was roughly about 6 hours. So roughly, the recording time may have been probably like 4.5 maybe. So to give my final thoughts, I've picked up a number of different accessories and products from Neewer over the last year or so, and I've been satisfied with all of them. Being capable of charging multiple devices at the same time, and smart monitoring to ensure that your devices are not damaged. Can't lose with this one. There'll be a link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.